Hello coders, good afternoon. Today we're going to be planning and coding more of the PHP session course that I'm doing. Forgive me, I'm just adjusting the microphone. We haven't done this in a while because I wasn't streaming last week. Super busy. So we're picking it up. I'm going to have to sort of remember where I left things. So please bear with. Let's get into the code straight away. So this is the course. What I'm doing is planning it and sort of building it as we go. And I thought I would just do it live. So last time we did this, we started building out this the requirements, the installation, the uninstall, the lessons and stuff. So I'm just going to go through that recap, sort of relearn what I did 14 days ago, and then we'll start building it. So PHP login. This course teaches how to log in, log out, and manage sessions in PHP. Okay. So what you'll learn is you'll create a HTML login form, PHP session management, secure PHP pages, header redirection. Okay. This is a work in progress, obviously. All right. So we'll put the URL in when we're there. And then we have requirements. Okay, so we've got system requirements and learner requirements. So I need to fill out the learner requirements. PHP 8 plus Windows, Mac, or Linux, and a browser. Kind of need an IDE in there. Right, I think what I'm going to do, because I've already started spotting things, I think what we're going to do is create ourselves a project for this, and I'm going to build it like I would normally build a project. Let's do it in Kanban. So let's do automate your workflow, create project. So let's just do course build, just because I can see that well, I haven't done this in 14 days, so I'm dipping in and out of it. So we're going to have to I'm going to have to create notes as I go. So if you've seen any of my other streams, you'll know that I use GitHub quite a bit for planning. Okay, so to do in progress. Let's put the work units, work in progress units to 1. So let's do a WIP of 1, so I can only work on one thing at one time. That's always good. Okay, so let's go back. So what we need to do is we need to add an IDE to the system requirements. So I'm just going to put in some notes. So add IDE to system requirements. Okay, what's next? Okay, so complete learner requirements. That way, well, this way I'm able to then, I'll put some links to these things as well. Keep tabs on how I'm doing. And we'll edit that one too. All right. Okay, so we need to put those in. Go back to README. Okay, so in the install, document how to install a course here. Okay, so I need to fill that out as well. So we're going to do complete install process, document docs, and I'll put a link into that too, just so I'm aware of where it all is. Okay, next. Right, so go back to README. All right, uninstall. I have to do that too. So. Document and I am going to change just to be annoying. No, that's cool. This one here. Document install process. And we will document learner requirements. That'll do. Okay, so next one, go back to README. Where are we at with this? We got uninstalled now. Lessons. Right, build login form, building dashboard, PHP session setup, handle login, handle logout, and secure pages are the ones that I already have so far, apparently. So building login form goes to here. So again, I need to address. I think what I'm going to do, because this is one of those things where you kind of plan the lessons after you build the lessons, and I can see this changing. There's going to be a lot of churn going on here with, you know, things. So I'm going to just add a task to just document or add lessons to, or document lessons, and we'll put a link to there too. Okay, cool. Okay. Disclaimer. Add disclaimer. And that goes straight to the README file. Good stuff. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff I need to do. I think also what I'm going to do here is probably I'm going to convert these to issues as well. I think that's probably a good thing to do. Convert all those to issues. Because what I wouldn't mind is having some sort of oversight. Well, not oversight, that's the wrong word. Some sort of overview, that's the right word. Overview of what is things that I need to document, things what I need to code. You know, every course will need all of these things, sure, but there are going to be specific things to this course that I need to do. So I'm basically using these streams as a way of me trying to plan and build the course out. So okay, let's go back over to the issues now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on labels. I'm going to do a documentation. There is a label for documentation. Sweet. So let's go over to the issues, and I'm going to just jump into here, and I'm going to add the label. I'm going to assign it to myself. I'm going to add the label of documentation. I'm not going to add a milestone because they all need to be done. So that's that, and I'll just do it for the others too. Let's get rid of that window because that's going to distract me. I have Twitter open. So Twitter is the most distracting app in the world, apart from YouTube. It's one of those things when you start doing YouTube shorts and you start getting hundreds of views on it, and you're like, oh, I wonder how many views I've got now. Oh. Right, there we go. Next one is the lessons. So this might be fairly boring for people to just watch me click buttons in GitHub, but I thought this would be interesting to do it live. If anybody's got any questions or suggestions, then as you had last time, there was a couple of suggestions and questions, then do let me know. I will keep looking at the chat. Oh, here we go. I can see them coming through. Hello. Sorry, I've been too concentrating on the stuff. Hey, Zimu, how to generate a dynamic select list in PHP. Wow. Yeah, I can see that being useful. How to generate? So that would be like a list coming from a database or from an array of things. All right. Hey, is it Alina? Thank you for joining. And what is it? Wartini? Thank you very much. This is, well, the question is this only about PHP? Is this only about sessions in PHP? So the short answer is yes, and the long answer is that plus it's a project. So the project is going to be centered around sessions, but it will have a login and log out form. So there's going to be a secure area, like a dashboard, a user dashboard, that you can only see once you've logged in. And the idea is that this course will teach session management, you know, how to create a session, how to delete a session, checking if there is a session, that kind of stuff. Because, you know, I'll be discussing, like, if you access the dashboard and you're not logged in, there isn't a valid session, then you get redirected back to you know, the login page with a message. So I'll be demonstrating all of those sort of intricate skills of PHP, if that does that make sense. So it'll be centered around sessions, but there'll be other additional things that you can take away from it, like, you know, login forms and such, header redirection, that kind of thing. I had a question the other day about header redirection and you know, object buffering and stuff. So I'll tinker with that too. But at this kind of stage, this is the second sort of thing of me planning this. So it's evolving. It's evolving as it goes. Right, so they're in there now, which is great. Let's just have a look at the code and see how, because I did a little bit of it. I did the config. So let's do the index. I need to refresh my memory on all of this. So I've got some comments here. Check if the user has already logged in. If logged in, redirect to the dashboard. Yeah. If not logged in, display a login form. Okay, that makes sense. So let's do if logged in, redirect to the dashboard. Let's have a look at dashboard. What am I doing here? Okay, so I did add a bunch of stuff. User config is include config user config. That goes up to here. Let's see what I was doing there. We were returning a multi-nested array where we have associative user1 and user2 with username and passwords in. Okay, that looks that's sensible. And then check if the user has already logged in. If logged in, display the dashboard, which is what we were intending on doing here. Okay, so it redirects to the dashboard, then displays the... Okay, fine. So the check's in here. All right, user is logged in, so we are we mimicking the fact that the user's logged in? Order config is we're requiring once another order config. So this is... yes, I remember. So this is the configuration for the dashboard. So you would have the user, and I believe there's another one down here, user 2. I think there's only 2 here, yeah. And then these are the items within the dashboard. So you would have the product name, price, image, and order date. Fine. Okay. All right. And then down here, has logged in. So there's a function call, has logged in. I'm assuming that's going to return a Boolean. Let's have a little look. Click on you. Okay, so I need to sort that out. So Right, that's the first thing I'm going to do. What I need to do then is go into here, create, we'll go back to the project. We'll create a to-do. All right, so complete or finish or build or add or whatever code or words. Can't think right now. Need to type words. Okay, yeah. Okay, build the... What is the method called? Sorry, I'm not even on the right tab. Is logged in. So at the moment, that's just returning false. All right, so build the function. Now, where does this live? We're putting it in the dashboard now. I think really we could refactor this into something better, couldn't we? So, whoops, let's not change the name of that. We'll leave it like that for a second, but then I'll come back to that in a minute because I think we can refactor a bunch of this. All right, so after the user is logged in, that's going to return false, and I've gone and screwed that up already. So let's go back to this. So if it is false, has logged in, then redirect back to the index page. Okay, so that's our header redirection. All right, so then down here on line 18, we are assuming that it is logged in, so that's when that returns true, and we won't deal with that until we deal with the sessions. So username is get username, so again we need to deal with that. That's returning hard-coded user, but what we need to do is alter the username to get the user that is logged in. All right, so let's go back to here, and we need to adjust the get username method function to return the correct, the logged in, to adjust the get username function. Okay, so this is going to return the logged in user. Okay, and then the next next one down here. So we get the user comes to get username. Then we have the order. We're passing in the order config and the username. Okay, so the order config is that big old array there. Get order. Okay, so what do we do here? We pass in an array of config and a string of the username. For each config as order, we're checking if the username is the user that we've supplied, and then we return the order, which is the array, or null, because we return null if not. So that's already built out. All right, fine. And then what happens? Nothing. So that happens, that happens, that happens. I think I'm going to move these functions somewhere to make it a little bit more useful. But that's the order. It returns an array, and then what happens? Display the dashboard. Is there a call here? Yeah, there is. Okay, cool. So we get in the username and the order, and we go HTML, blah, 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 welcome the username. Okay, fine. And then we loop over, we're in a table, right? So yeah, for each order items, and that should correspond to this order items. Yes, it does. And then it loops through, gets the product image, name, price, and then formats the date and returns HTML like this. And then down here we display the dashboard. Okay, so first of all, let's see if that works. I think what I was doing was yeah, I need the terminal running, don't I? Let's get that running. iTerm. Hey Vinci, thank you for joining. Where are we? Where's the old there we go, spotlight. iTerm. Sorry, bear with me a minute whilst I sort this all out. Should have got this running before the stream. Now I've recently upgraded my Mac Mini here, so fingers crossed this works. I haven't tried it yet. Where does this all live? Course PHP login. Okay, fine, let's find it. Could be in here. That's the course template. It would be in courses if I've done it properly. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Okay, so if we did a PHP -s on the local host, that should hopefully... Oh, no. Come out of that. I need to go into the actual project directory, don't I? Here we go. PHP-s, get the local server running. If I can type. Pete, come on, type properly. And the enter button. There we go. All right, so technically speaking now, if I go over to here and type in localhost, on port 8080. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so this is happening because of the fact that I'm saying that is logged in is returning false. So if I was to return that as true, and then what will happen is that will return true. That will not pass, or that will pass, as in like will now be on line 18. Line 18 will then get the username, which will be hard-coded to how to code well 1. Then we get the order passing in the username, and then the order config. I mean, if you were to do this through a database, that would be the user ID or something. Anyway, but that goes beyond this course. Trying to limit it down. So that would then go username would go into here, and then we'll return the order. So let's try it. Let's give it a go. So I need to refresh. Well, that didn't work. So why didn't that work? Right. That's always going to say. Oh, I see. I need to be on dashboard page. I've got it. Okay, right. Let's come out. Let's close that back to false. There we go. Go over to the dashboard. There we go. It's now in the history, so I've done it before. Press enter here. That should forward us back to the index.php with you must be logged in. That's correct. So now if I was to change that to be true, save that, and then run, go back to the dashboard again. Press enter. There we go. We got our prices and our lists, our dashboard. It's all good. So there's a couple of things that I need to do then that we can put back into the old course build here. Number one, we need to create a login form. Number two is create a logout button. Well, the logout button. Let me think. So when you get to the index page, it will be like, please log in, and then you log in, you submit the form, goes through all that rigmarole, which we will refactor and put in other places, and then once you get to the dashboard, it will be there will be a logout button. So add a logout button to the dashboard. Here we go, to the dashboard. Okay, that should be the flow. So, right, build the is logged in function. Okay, adjust the get username function, create a login form, add the logout button to the dashboard. I think that is good for now. What we'll do... Oh yes, so I need to actually create these images, don't I? So that's another one. Add images, and we will just make a little list here of what the images are. Come on. Right, so we have keyboard JPEG. That's one of them. I'll copy that in. Now, another thing that I don't want to do on this is to do any kind of frameworks or any kind of, like, you know, I don't want to go into any kind of JavaScript craziness. This is going to be raw PHP, as you've seen. There's not going to be any React Native or Vue.js or whatever the flavor of the month is. It's just going to be a PHP course. All right, cool. So, I mean, there will be CSS. I suppose we probably could put a task in there to make it look good. So, style or add or create a CSS style sheet. All right. So there's a ton of stuff that I need to actually develop and build. I think what I'm going to do is, build the thing, and then look at actually breaking it up into individual lessons. And I think we could have one lesson that is like config. So that the first lesson is like, this is how you configure it, and I would discuss these things. It probably won't make much sense to begin with until we actually get through, you know, into the course. And then I will probably come up with a, I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep it nice and fluid, I think, for the time being. I don't want to get too hung up on how I'm going to structure the course before I've actually built the code. It's one of these annoying chicken and egg type scenarios. Okay, so what should we do? I suppose we should build the login form. That's probably the best route. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, first up, let's convert this to issues, right? And then from there I can mess them about a bit. I wish there was a damn it. I wish there was a way in GitHub. I mean, there might be, but I don't know, of converting these en masse. That would be very good, because this is annoying and time consuming. Like what I'm after GitHub is like a little checkbox to say convert all to issues or something. That would make my life a little easier. Anyway, right. So we'll focus solely on this one first. We'll put it in the work unit. That's number one. All right, let's go into here. Boom. Into there. Let's get rid of all this get rid of the distractions. This is what we're going to be working on. So I'm going to just fill this out. So create a we're going to come up with our own little stuff. So create HTML, create function that returns the HTML for the login form. All right. I wouldn't mind putting this into some sort of, dare I say it, utils file. Move it away from the actual view. If you were to think of this in model controller view, which you kind of can't, to be honest, but I might refactor. That's not these. So move function into common functions file, and then What else? What else do we need to do? Oh yes, we actually need to handle form submission. That's what we need to do. So, so create a or display a login form that, when submitted, validates the user input against user config user, I think it's this config array. All right. If valid, then start session and redirect to dashboard. So there's a couple more things I need to do. So handle form submission. So validate user input. Then we need to do if valid. Come on. Start session and redirect to dashboard. If invalid, display message back to login page. I think that kind of covers it. Right, so let's do me, and this is gonna be, it's an enhancement. I guess that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so that's what we'll probably try and do today, I think, or part of it. It's documented enough, so if I needed to shoot off and end the stream or whatever, then I can come back to it. So, okay, let's get this started. I suppose what I need to do is create a, let's just bring that out a minute. Let's get back into the come out of that. Courses, and it's yep, project. Okay, so let's do, oh, what have I changed? Come on, project. Yep. All right, git checkout -b. Let's start up a new branch. Let's do feature login form. Now I'm not going to be overly precious on the CSS, the styling of this form at this stage. I just want to get it done. I think once I have the components done, I will then style it in its entirety, rather than faff about with the, the intricacies of padding and margins and stuff. So I'm not fussed with that. I guess what we need to do, we'll build it in here for now. I mean, I know that it'll be somewhere else, but let's do function. How have I called this? Let's keep a convention going. Is that display dashboard? Yeah. So let's do display login form. It's a form after all. And Let's see now. Let's go back to the... Yeah, okay, so it's just HTML and we render that out. Okay, fine. And we call HTML with uppercase HTML. Okay. HTML is equal to a new form. And we close that down too. Now, does it need to be done like this, or could I? The thing is, if I wasn't doing it server side, so I'm starting to think maybe I should just build it as a HTML form and then inject the PHP into the form. All of these decisions, I don't know. If I was to do that, then I would have to deal with output buffering, which I could do, I suppose. Sod it. That would mean that we would need to create a... let me just play. Let me just play for a minute. Let's just create a new file, and we call this login.php. And this will be HTML. I'm just playing at the mo. In the body of this, we would have a form that I can't spell because I can't spell. Right. PHP Storm, please stop trying to be over-intelligent. I am making spelling mistakes, and you don't need to copy the end tags when I do. This form will have, obviously, a method which will be post. It will have an action, which we will need to come up with something like handle login.php. It will have, let's do it properly. Let's do a field set again with the keyboard. We'll do a field set. We'll have a label for, we'll call this username, which will be username, and then we'll have an input, and we'll give this a type of text, and this will have an ID of username. Fine. And then we'll have another one down here, which will be password. Okay, and then we'll have like a input type of submit with a value of login, something like that. Now, obviously, I need to build this handle login thing. Let's just make you a little happier. Okay, let's just have a little look and see how that looks. We're still running off of there, so let's do. Oh, I appear to have got rid of that tab. That's annoying. Localhost port 8080, and it is login.php. There we are. Fine, whatever. You know, meets the MVP. So after that, then we need to obviously do the handle login PHP. So maybe let's deal with this first. So that's going to index. Unless that goes back upon itself. So I'm just playing at the minute. If post, give the form a name for an ID. If post username, if is set, if post username and I do want this to go somewhere else though. I kind of like the idea of cleaning, just have a clean HTML, but we'll get there in the end. Okay, so we need to clean the strings, then validate against the user config. And then if is valid, redirect to dashboard. In fact, there's a little bit more to that, isn't there? Redirect to the dashboard. Change that to be just display message. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of that noise of water making me want to go to the loo. So what we can do then, let's just put that in for a minute. Key username. Okay, yeah, I need to do is sets and stuff. Or let's just we're using PHP 8, aren't we? So we could use the old ternary stuff. And then one for forgot there was a space there, and then one for the password. Okay. There is also the submit as well, so let's give that a name. In fact, let's give these a name as well. I've forgotten to give Forgotten to give these names. That's not good, is it? So username. Otherwise that just won't work. That would be name of password. Okay, and then that would be name of submit. So if we were to run, come out of that, go into there, boom, 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 just comment this all out for a sec. Refresh this, that'll be nothing. Do test and test. There we go. So we got test and test coming through. So that grabs them. There should also be submit. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Submit. So if so let's do has submitted is equal to post. Where is this? Submit. And we will need to do this. Well, false, and we'll set that as a bool. Dump has submitted. Okay, refresh the page with nothing on it. Undefined key submit. Yeah, no, I can't cast that, can I? That's a shame. I suppose what I could do yeah, so that's false. There we go. Cool. And then if I did again test and test on here and then hit submit, that would be log in, which means that right. So what I could do is just if could I cast that into a bool? False. No. Fair enough. Not to worry. Basically, if that is false, I don't like the fact that that is... yeah, no, let's not do that. That's not good practice. We are going to have to do that. And then we'll do if... Yeah, okay, fine. It's a bit of a round, going around the houses, but okay. So if submitted is equal to, what was it, login with a cap. Why is that capitalized? That's fine. That's fine. It's a string. That's fine. So then that is. That's basically that, isn't it? So has submitted is now going to be true or false. So let's just... There we go. Cool. Okay. Which means we can get rid of all that stuff. Oh, apart from the submitted thing. There we go. Get rid of all this stuff. Boom, boom, boom. And then down here we can do if has submitted, and then get our stuff. Okay. So it's then in this point here that we do our sort of things to do list. Clean the strings. We could probably do them inside here, can we? We could do a trim. At least. unless we put them. Maybe we should. No, maybe we should create a function called clean. Clean inputs. Input. And this passes in a string, which is the input or the value, and it returns a string which is, well, for now we'll just return the value back, but we could do, yeah, clean input. Alright, so then this will be whatever the things that we want to do. So in the config, we need to look and see that this is right. Okay, so we won't manipulate it too much apart from maybe trimming it down. We don't need to necessarily worry about nasties in the... Actually, no. Because I'm thinking of, it's going to be on a database, so you need to clean the inputs, but we don't actually need to do that in this particular thing, because it's just going to be running off of an array and it's clear text, so it's fine. Let's just change that to that. Okay, fine. Okay, so we've trimmed them down. We also need to get hold of the config, right? So if we go to the dashboard, up, grab user config, we're in here. So I'm going to bung that in there. And then we need to kind of loop over each one of these and compare the username and the password of the supplied inputs. So we could do this by personally I would do it in a get user call, which would be a function, obviously, because we're not doing this in OO. And that would require a string of username and a string of password. And it would return... What would it return? It would return a string that... Does it correspond to the key of the user config? User 1, user 2. Let me think. If we go back to this... Get username. No, it doesn't. It corresponds to the username. I think I might change that so it returns the ID. Because if you thought of this as a database, that would be the ID of the database of the user, and that would be the field username and password of the record. So yeah, I think we're going to return. It's going to be a string, but we'll return a key. So let's just make that up for a minute. All right, so or null. It either is or it isn't. So let's return null from Mo, and then we can do user key is equal to get user, passing in the username that we've got and the password that we have. Fine, and then this, so that goes username, password, and so what we need to do for each user config that I'm going to have to pass into here. As config. Let's call this user data. All right, and then we actually, do we need to do that? let's put this on the left-hand side because I can't. Do we need to do that? I mean, it's an array of arrays, right? So why I've done that, I'm not sure. Is that the same with the orders? Yeah. Although the orders I can kind of appreciate because you would have. Yeah, you would have multiple orders, but with the user config, do we need that? Don't think we do. We could just get away with, I mean, this is now me hacking this to bits, but could we not get away with that? I think we could. Because then all we need to do, well, we need to loop, yeah, we need to loop over this. This becomes the user key because it is the user key. It's the key of the array. And that is what we're going to return. So up here, okay, let me give me some room. So here, user key is, we'll do null. All right, if user data, and that is username equals the supply username and user data is the same as the supplied password. Is that right? Yeah. And. Then that returns the user key. So let's get rid of you for a sec. Let's now return null. There we go. That's hardened a bit. So we get the user config, we loop through there, and we get the username and the password of the supplied thing. We compare them to those. If that is the case, we return the user key. Else, we keep looping through until, and if we don't find anything, then we return null. Excuse me. Okay, so that gets the user key. So then down here, we need to do if. Actually, so let's refactor that. That needs to be. It's not log in. It's get user. Okay. Right. So if user key is equal to null, then there's a problem. Else, so that's we'll spin it around. So if that isn't null, so that's then technically they've already logged in, but we need to start the session, and then down in here we need to display the message, display the error message. So okay, I think this is starting to make a little bit of sense. Let's get rid of that rubbish. So okay, I guess what we should do is try it for a start. Let's do var dump of user key. Alright, so let's get back to here. Right, let's do an actual one that is not valid. So this should return null. No. On line 18, where's this? Oh, it's here. Oh, right, because I need, oh, gosh. Okay, yeah, I am going to have to create a clean thing and pass them through. That sucks. I mean, I suppose I could do it at this stage, right? I could do trim, user data, and trim. Yeah. In fact, let's not bother. Right. null. Yes, that's correct. So we've got null here because the hasn't returned the same user and the password as the one we've got in the thing. So let's have a look and see what is a valid username and password. So there's a how to code well 1 goes in U, and test HTCW goes in there. Login. Why is that null? That shouldn't be null unless I need to, well, too many things going on. That's how. Right, what am I doing wrong here? Let's try again. Right, so somewhere this isn't working. No shit. User config. Let's actually see if this is coming out correctly. User config. Of course, this could be an issue. That should be a print R of user config. It is. So we're looping through each one of these arrays and we're comparing username and password to the supplied username and password. Okay. So, and user key is there. If the user data username, hang on a minute. Why am I calling this user data? Whoa. Hang on. Hold fire. What am I doing? That doesn't look right, does it? What is that? Username and password. Username and password. Yeah, okay, fine. So that does make sense. Let's just make sure I haven't spelled any random stuff wrong. If that is equal to that, and that is equal to that, then return that, which should be the key. So, is there a problem with this then? Let's do, a var dump of username and another var dump of password and see. Yes, that's why, because they're empty strings. And they're empty strings because, oh, look at that, there's a space. There we go, test and test. Right, so now if we were to put in the real thing, am I dumping out the fact that we have got the key? No, I'm not. All right, let's do that again. All right, so if we did that one and that one, for instance, and then logged in, we should get user 1 as the key. Yes, it is working. Woo! All right, let's get rid of you, and then let's get rid of that. All good stuff. So let's just step a couple of things back here and just get back to this. So create a function that returns the HTML of, well, are we going to do that? I don't really know. Probably not. Move a function into, I'll do that in a minute. Handle form submission. Validate the user input. Done. Okay. So, what do we need to do? We need to I think we'll deal with the fact that we'll do it with where it's returning false, I think, or null. So in this part here, let's get rid of the this stuff. We're not worrying about that. That's done. Right, so we'll deal with this part here because that's easy. That's the easiest route. Like the unhappy path is the easiest route to test. All right. So let's do a thing up here. We'll do it outside of this if block. We'll have to do it up here. Let's do errors is equal to an array. Is it no? No, because we can use HTML5 for the whole, you know, requiredness. Let's do that. I was going to think, like, why don't we create some fancy little validation to make sure that, you know, things are submitted correctly, but let's not overcomplicate it. So there's no need for an array of errors. It is just error, which again is going to be null. So then down here we have an error. So we do error is equal to invalid login. Please try again. Maybe, I don't know, something like that. That'll do. Scroll, 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 and then down in sort of here we would have PHP. We would do if we could do if isn't empty error, and then close out of PHP. Let's put this into there. And then display the error. There we go. Good stuff. Oh yeah, obviously breaking out of the if statement, sure. So end if. Obviously we'll fancy pants that up a little bit when we get to the styling stage, but let's have a little play with this. There we go. Invalid login, please try again. Okay, cool. So that's that done. And I guess at this point what we want to do is start the session and redirect to the dashboard, right? Yeah. So man, this is starting to look like one of the projects I did at college many years ago. I miss object orientation. Okay, all right. So what we want to do here is let's get the okay. So we want to put the user key in the session. That would be cool because then we could pick that out later. That would be pretty handy. Let's just get the header redirect working first. That's probably a good. Actually, no. Let's get the session started. Yeah, let's get that done. That would, you know, as it's a course about sessions, let's have a play with sessions. Okay, so we will session start above at the top. Scrolly scroll, scroll, scroll. Down here we will do session. We'll call it user key, user underscore key, and we'll give this that. There we go. And then obviously we need to redirect and other things. and then check for that on the other page. So let's get. I think also what I'm going to do is if it's invalid, I'm just for arguments, I'm going to unset. I will. I'll set it to null or something. So there is. Just got to be careful, like, you know, with the sessions. Set it to null. In fact, we could go one step further, can't we? We could set it to null when they land on it, and then if it's valid, they okay, so that's the key. I think also what we could try and do is actually put this as a flash message. And then print it out again. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the things that I could mention in the lessons, like how to. Yeah, because then above here I can go if is session, if has session, blah blah blah. All right, I tell you what, let's do I was going to write public then. Let's do get RMS, or yeah, let's do a function called has display error. No, get error. Yeah, get error. Get error. And that is going to return the error message, which again will be reset above here. No, it's not going to be reset because that's. So here, sorry, this needs to redirect to dashboard. That's what we need to do. And then at this stage we need to do we need maybe not, maybe we're overcomplicating this. Yeah, maybe we just set this as an error. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. There we go. There's no need to overcomplicate it more than it needs to. So that's fine. And then, so if it has been submitted, we reset this. We then get the user key. So this is essentially our login method. And then we add the user key if it's not null to here, and then we redirect. So let's do the redirection. So this is essentially what this, I've basically rewritten this, haven't I? So that's what we need to do. It's just like the other way. So let's do that. So that's then dashboard, like that. And we're exiting out. Fine. So that goes to the dashboard then with the user key set. Now, the dashboard, we need to deal with the is logged in. So is logged in, we need to do Again, session start above here. And then we need to do down here, we need to do user key is equal to session user key or null. If user key is equal to null, well, actually, let's just ternary this. So return that. So if that is not null, then maybe we should just return the key is logged in. Maybe we should do that. So we'll return the key. I quite like is though. Is means that it's either true or false. Maybe we need to do get user key. That's another function. I tell you what, let's just do this for now. Okay, so if is logged in, then we redirect. This get username is going to automatically be set to that for now. So that's fine. All right, let's give that a blast and see. All right, so we'll do it with the unhappy path first. So that should just go invalid. Please try again. Fine. All right, now we'll do the happy path. So we'll go over to the user config and we'll pull out this one and here. Yeah, now we've gone back to, now we've redirected, we've logged in, or we've redirected back to the dashboard, or to the dashboard. That's cool. Cool. Oh, great. Sorry about this, people. Let me just ban this annoying person. Sorry, I didn't see. You know, there we go. Yeah, it's very annoying when they do all of this. Yes, I am deleting all the messages. Okay, so that's cool. We need to do the logout, obviously, which will, you know, deal with that. Let's go back to the this though. So if a session is redirected to the dashboard, that's done. If invalid display a message, that's done. So we've handled the form submission. Boom. Okay. So I guess we could test it with the second one, right? So let's go back over to here. Now, obviously, I am gonna have to create a logout. But I suppose in code, I could, if we go back to the login page, there we go. And we submit it again. We would submit it, and then that would be, we would destroy the session. So we could log in with the other user. Let's try that. So test HTTW. Let's log in. We got a keyboard, mouse, and monitor. Is that correct? No, that's how to. Oh, it's because I'm hard coding the dashboard, aren't I? Yes. So is logged in. That's returning true, and then that's okay. So get username. We need to do function get user key. Now I'm going to put all of these functions in a better place. So let's grab that for a sec. That's going to return a string or null, which is essentially that, right? That's basically what that is. That's what that essentially is. Yeah. So get username will be user key is equal to get user key if isn't empty and we're gonna need to essentially do the same thing. Now I'm pretty much copying and pasting I, which isn't good. I think it's about time we started moving this into some sort of common area, because I am starting to now you know, copy code. So we got config. I think let's create a new PHP file and we call this maybe, I don't know, common, something like that, common.php. And in common PHP we will have let's start with the login stuff, because I know that works. So let's move that into here, and then let's just do an include once. Of you for a second. See if it would be far easier if this was in object orientation, but it's not, which is annoying. I can't do I don't think I can. It's a string. No, it's not. It's an array. Ooh, hello. So we could do all right. That's the string, right? And then down in here we could do, oops, user config, get it from the constant. There we go. There we go. And then that would get round a lot of pain. Order config goes into here. That would be order config. Okay. All right, so we've moved this out. So we're going to need to include that. So, how was I doing it before? Oh, I was including it within there. Okay, fine. Have I just pressed Control Z too many times? Probably. There we go. There we go. All right, cool. Cool. So we're gonna require once of common.php. I've got to make sure that there's no like spaces or anything crazy above any of this jazz. All right. So that's common. That's going to return the user. So in login, we're going to get the user from there, and then we're going to deal with the form. Fine. Yeah. All right. Let's just go back to the login a minute. Let's just make sure that works before I go forward and back too many times. Uncaught exception, type error, define, argument 2, value cannot be an object, date time. What? Cannot be an object, date time given. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, I didn't think of that. Damn. Yeah, so in the here we've got objects. Rats. I suppose I could make them up as strings, I guess. So we could do like, I don't know, 0, 1, 0, 2, 20, 21, and we'll just separate them a month apart, maybe. So we'll do that's 02, that's 03, and then that's 04, because it doesn't really make a difference, does it? And then we'll put that to yeah, that's fine. Whatever. That's all good. So let's refresh now and see has that worked. It has. Sweet. Okay. Let's get rid of that. It's not looking too shabby. I mean, meh. Okay, let me try and do the unhappy path first again. So let's just load that up and then put in T and T. I want T, and then log in. There we go. So that's working fine. And then let's move away from this and go back into the dashboard. So there's a lot of stuff we can play with here. So is logged in, get user key, get username, get order. Right. So I'm gonna same deal with login. I'm going to require common of the dashboard there, and then I'm going to right. Okay, I kind of want to get rid of these, so let's get rid of that and get rid of that. That's going to break a lot of stuff. So get order. Why are we passing in the config of get order? All right, because we have the config. I think we can probably get away with moving that into our common down in there, and config doesn't need to be supplied. We just need to get the, and it's actually going to be get orders, and the config is actually our defined config, which is order config. There we go. So in dashboard we want to change that now to be wherever that's set, get orders. Good, and we don't need that anymore. Get the username if the user's logged in. So let's go back up a level. So get username and that can all go into common. Brilliant. So let's go back to the dashboard here. So get orders, get username. We'll deal with that in a second. So it's looking a bit tidier. Let's get rid of these comments. So is logged in. If that is false, then we redirect to the index page. Now really we need to redirect back to the login page and remove the session, but let's pretend we have logged in. We then get the username and we get the orders. So we could wrap this up. We could even say I wonder if we could do so order items. Okay. I'm wondering if we could do what? Why do we need the username? Oh, right. We need the username because of the dashboard. Fine. Okay. All right. So we. Oh, what have I done? That's better. All right. So we do need the username. That's a shame. Okay. So I can't wrap this in one call. Get username. So get username. Let's have a look and see what that does. Okay. Yeah. So this gets the key. Ah, this is where we were before. Okay, I got it. So we get the key, and then from there, so we do if is an empty user key, then we get the user key from we get the username, sorry, from the user config based on the key that we have, and we're looking for the user name. Right, so if is an empty user key, let's return that. We have to, if that, because that's going to, that could return null, so we need to handle that case. If that is the case, then the user isn't logged in, which means that we would need to, I mean, it technically shouldn't be the case. I wish we could just return an object back. It's going to return a string regardless. Okay, fine. So let's just do this in this. There we go. Why is that? Okay, fine, whatever. Let's reformat this all. Right, let's go back to here then. No, that's the wrong file, isn't it? Here. Get the username, get the orders. Is that going to return an array or null? Okay, so we need to handle the fact that that could return null, and we'll do that in a minute. This is technically orders because it's for each order's items as item. Anyway, let's try it. I'll always go back to the unhappy path first, just to make sure I haven't broken anything. So that's cool. And then we need to we need to look to find out the that's it. Paste that in. Okay, undefined variable order in course.php dashboard line 44. So we have redirected to the dashboard. on line 44. Dashboard, line 44, down. Somewhere around. That's no longer a thing. Although I don't think that's the error because it's line 44, right? It's, yeah, here. So, oh yeah, orders. But this is an error. We can't be putting objects into that anymore, which is a shame. We're just gonna have to print that out. I can't remember what I called it though. Order date. That would make sense. Okay, let's do the same deal with, well, let's take a step back, make sure that that all works. Let's do that first. So let's just refresh here. There we go. Good. And let's go back to the login a minute and attempt to log in with the next user. So, oh, okay. That's unusual. I didn't expect. There we go, how to code well 2. I probably put it in wrong. Okay, so there's that. Let's go back over to here. Move functions into a common functions file, done. Create a function that returns. I don't want to do that. I'm going to scrub that out. But that's fine. We've kind of done that. We need to do a check on the login on the index page. So this is going to be our sort of switchboard, if you will, of where to go. So we'll start up the session again. And we'll also require once the config common, sorry. There we go. And we can do is logged in. We could do if is logged in. Whoops. Then redirect to the deal with a header redirect. Let's go back to this. Redirect to the login, the dashboard. Else, well, you'll be out of there, won't you? So it would be login. Go back to login. Yeah, there we go. So is logged in would check the user key, and if that is not null, then that's true. Okay, so let's try that. So we want to go straight to, so I am logged in, so I want to go straight to the index page, and that should take me back to the dashboard. Marvelous stuff. Good. Good, okay. What else can I knock off on this? So that's pretty much done, isn't it? Bang. What else? Add a log out to the dashboard. Adjust the username. That's done. That's done. So we did quite a bit of that. Let's add a log out. Boom. There we go. So this is actually starting to get a little bit of structure to it, which is nice. Probably can refactor a little bit more. I wouldn't mind adding some comments and stuff around, but structure is sound. Let's tidy this up though, because I don't like the fact that that is there's no need for that in a function anymore. So let's do that. There's no need for it to be in a function. Let's get it out of the function. Yeah, so let's just Yeah, so at this point we should already have orders and a username. That's right. Yeah, so let's get rid of all of this. This is going to be a bit painful. Yeah, all right. What's going on? Oh yes, the fact that that actually needs to be in a HTML block would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh yes, and I've broken the whole thing. This is why it's going to be painful, because I've broken it all. Where's that? Here. Right. Now put that back into PHP. PHP. Come on. We loop through all this jazz, and we'll use. We'll come out. Add a PHP. We'll come out of it. Up here, we'll bring that into there. There we go. And then that's gonna be there we go, and it's double quotes. There we go. Right, let's get rid of that and that and that, and get rid of there's no need for the double quote, is there? No. There we go. There's that and that and that. There we go. Get rid of this. Oh, it's not that painful. I thought it was going to be more. And then well, it is if I keep pressing the wrong keys on the keyboard, and for each. There we go. And then we can get rid of this, and get rid of this, and get rid of this, and get rid of that. And then format the code, which doesn't appear to be working. Oh, right, because I haven't finished it. Oh yes, actually need to come out of PHP in order to actually run this. So there we go, that's better. And then obviously we're missing the end tags in where are we? Dashboard. There we go. Boom. Right, so technically nothing should have changed. Why are you having a mare? What's going on with that missing alt? Okay, fine. We'll deal with that later. Actually, no, I will put a task in, actually, whilst I'm here for that. Where's the board gone? There we go. So add image alt tags. Right, we're supposed to be working on logout, but I've decided against it. Working on this, but we will in a minute. Right, let me just see whether that has done anything. No, that's what we wanted. Okay, so now we can work on the logout. That was kind of the reason why I wanted to do it, because we can create a we'll do it as a link, ahref, and we'll call it logout.php. PHP. And I will put it inside this, inside here. Right, so we need to have a logout in projects. We need to have a logout page. So logout.php, and the purpose of the logout is to basically, we need to, again at the top, grab all of this. I'm going to create an actual function called logout. And what that's going to do is it's going to unset session. And then I won't do the redirect. I prefer doing my redirects in the actual pages rather than the functions. I know that I've done like 3 redirects, and I probably could do it better if it was in a function, but I prefer doing them. I see these more as controllers, if that makes sense, and then these are services. So that's what I'm looking for. So we do logout, and then we redirect, and we're going to redirect back to the index page. And the fact that we're redirecting to the index page should go to here. We should then do a is logged in. That should then return false, which then should go down to here and then redirect us back to the login page. So this is our switchboard essentially. Right. Now I could do something fancy, and I could put in a message saying, you know, you are now logged out or something. Goodbye, nice to see you, bye bye, toodaloo. But I'm not going to bother. So we want to refresh this, and now we've got a logout. That should take us to logout.php. We're going to click that, and nothing happens. Brilliant. Why does nothing happen? Why does nothing happen? We're unsetting the session. Oh! We can't just unset the session, we have to unset a session variable. In fact, we could probably return session, get user key, is logged in. Let's just try that a minute. Yeah. So we unset the whole session. I was thinking maybe we could keep it and then just set it to null, but let's just, that's fine. All right, so yes, so that's cool. Let's give it a once over. So let's load that up. Let's log in with incorrect details first. So put in that's correct, and then if we go to our user config, and we're going to grab the first user, which is this one, and log in. There we go. We're in How to Code Well 1, and then if I hit log out, that's going to log us out. And then if I go back over to here and log in as How to Code Well 2 and log in, there we go. We're now logged in as How to Code Well 2, and then hit log out, and that'll take us back to the login page. That's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Let's go over to this. That's done. I think we're pretty much done on the coding sense. I mean, we've got to style it up and jazz it up a bit, but I might do that in a separate stream, add the images and stuff, and then I've got a bunch of documentation and planning to do. Now I've built the thing, it's going to be a case of let's think about how to actually structure this from nothing to something in the most logical manner, which makes sense to the user. That's the challenge I have. Now I've built this little system, I need to cut this up into lessons. So the first lesson could be config. In fact, whilst we're at this, I tell you what, we are in one branch, aren't we? I should have been doing this all in different branches. Let's just do a git commit adding code. Let's just put that in for a minute. Cool. I mean, the first couple of commits are going to be heavy, aren't they? Let's just do a git. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that is pretty good for now. I'm gonna look at changing the documentation and dealing with that and the structure and stuff later. I'll review the whole code. I'll run it through things like PHP stan. I know that there's issues with the data types and so forth, and all of that jazz, code formatting and all of that stuff. We don't have any of that installed. I'm going to run that myself. I won't expect the learner to have those tools, but I want to provide the learner with decent code that conforms to decent standards. So I'm going to run that, outside of this. So I will add a little note there. Run PHP stan and PHP CBF against code. Yeah, and then I guess the next stream we'll look at styling it up, maybe. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everybody. I need to shoot off. See you again soon. Cheers. Bye bye.